Hey guys, thanks for taking a few minutes to go over my extension today that I have recently developed. This is an extension for Dynamics 365 Business Central specifically, and the extension name is User Access. I'm going to get pretty much straight into it just so I'm not wasting any time, and I hope this only takes about 5 or 10 minutes of your guys' time today. And this extension again is called User Access, and it is all about user access and permissions in Business Central. And I know a lot of people probably have headaches with permission sets currently in Business Central, or have had headaches in the past with developers like me who have to code, custom permission set objects, or you have consultants that don't really maybe understand how to configure, or it's a hassle for them to configure permission sets the way that you want, and it takes a lot of time. And hopefully this will be something that can either supplement permission sets or even totally replace it. And this is really what this extension is about. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it and show you guys what this extension is all about. I don't know if I said this when I first started the recording, but my name is Alex Vescovi, just so you guys are aware, and I am the one who did code this extension from scratch. So if you guys have any questions or you are interested in the extension after seeing this quick presentation, you can feel free to contact me, and I will include my contact information in the description of this YouTube video. So yeah, I'll just get straight away into it here. So this is the main page where basically everything is going to happen. If you're an admin or somebody who is controlling permissions in BC, again, if you're on the Microsoft partner side or you are an end user and you are an admin for, and being an end user of somebody who uses Dynamics 365 Business Central, then this will be the main page object that you come into to control all of basically the permissions and user access. This page object is mapped to a user access table. And then there's a few other pages that I'm going to show as well that are, one is an admin page and then one is another page based on user requests. So there's only a few pages with this, and hopefully it's super simple for you guys to understand kind of how to configure permissions when you guys see what I'm about to do, and see how much quicker and how much of a time saver this will be compared to configuring permission sets and how it's already done based on Microsoft's base code. So what I'll start by doing is I'm just going to give an example of modifying and preventing my user that I'm signed into currently, which is alex.admin, and preventing my user from inserting records into the customer table, right? So this is for inserting records into the customer table. This Boolean field here, all of these are just Boolean fields. These two are the only table fields that are not Boolean fields in here. All of the rest of these are mapped to table or page objects. And what this is doing is if I mark this Boolean field to true for my record, for this record in the table here for my user, then what this will do is it will prevent my user from being able to insert a record into the customer table. And it is literally that simple. And then again, if you filter here on this global page variable based on read, insert, modify, or delete, you can go to all, and then it will display all of the page fields that are mapped to table fields here. In the list page, if you filter it based on read, then it's going to modify the page fields that are mapped to the table fields here and only show all of the read fields, right? So this is an easy way for you guys to know which ones that you guys are working with or which permissions that you're going to be allocating to a user or preventing. Well, when you mark that Boolean field to true, what you're doing is preventing a user from actually reading a page, inserting a record into a table, modifying a record in a table, deleting records out of a table, right? So the other one that I'll configure is for read. I don't know if this is already done or not. It is not. So I will prevent my user from being able to read the customer and list page objects, right? So right now I have configured just for my user to prevent my user, because when you mark these to true, it's preventing the user from doing these actions in Business Central, prohibiting them from inserting a record, in this case, into the customer table or reading the customer list and card page objects. So right now, if I go try to insert a record into the customer table, I will not be able to, and I cannot even read it. So really, if you prevent somebody from reading it, they're not going to be able to directly insert a record into the customer table anyways, right? So if they can't read it, they're not going to be able to modify a record or insert a record or delete a record out of the table if you prevent them from reading it. Now, if you just prevent them from modifying the record, then they can still read the record, right? They just can't modify existing records. They could insert a new record or still delete records, right? In this case, when I go to open up the customer list page, I will not be able to, and a runtime error will get produced in the web application here. So let me go to the customers list page. Now, this is the other part of my extension that, kind of goes further than what Microsoft has coded, and I've coded this additional logic so people can request access if this field here as a value of true and not, or sorry, yes and not no, this request access field, then I am able to request access if I do not. So now the user knows, okay, I have to request access to this page to then be able to read this page or view this page. I will go ahead and click yes. And what this will do is then send an email to my user based on data in an email field for the user card. And it's going to send an email to my user, to an admin user based on my user. So excuse me, it's based on an admin user's email, and I'll show you that page in a second. And then now an email has been sent to that admin user, and then that admin user can grant my user access to this page object. Now the runtime error will get produced. It'll show here the page customers is closed, and I do not have access to this page until it's been granted. So the user will know that they don't have access to the page. Now, if I go ahead and modify that read permission for the customer list page object, they will be able to go ahead and open that customer list page. So now I will open the customer page. And this is how simple it is to write for a user and admin user to configure permissions for users now. All they have to do is mark a Boolean field to true or false, and that's it. So now if I come into the customers page, I can read the customers page. I can read all the data right in here. I can view the customers page. This is the list page. I can go into an individual customer card page, and now I can view all of the data, and I can, open these pages successfully without getting a runtime error. Now, if I try to insert a record into the customer table, I still cannot do that because I have this Boolean field checked to true for the customer table. So I will go ahead and try to insert a record into the customer table now, and then you'll see a runtime error gets produced there when I go to insert a record into the table. Now a runtime error gets produced, and this is the error message that is displayed, and it lets them know, yes, the user that they're signed into does not have permission to insert records into the customer table. Right? So this is, I think, a much easier way to control permissions and user access in Business Central through my user access extension than compared to Microsoft's permission sets at times. And again, I know those are very cumbersome and people don't understand them all the way with adding permissions to specific permission sets or having a developer like me code custom permission sets if you need that done. And I think that this will ultimately be a big time saver for people, and hopefully it's a lot easier to understand than configuring permission sets and user groups and all that stuff, and will be a big time saver for end users or Microsoft partners and consultants and other people and admins who are going to control this. The only other thing I will quickly show you is, since I requested access, there is a user access request table that I have coded as a part of this extension. This was one that I did yesterday, and this is the one that is now pending. So once you go ahead and grant access to this, then this user will be able to, well, in this case, the user will be able to read. It would have been for the read. I already marked it to false, but if I didn't, then that user would then be able to go ahead and read and open the customer listing card page objects. Right, so if you click grant request, you'll see the status change to a value of approved. It'll modify that record. Decline request, it will change the value to declined. Right, so the three values are pending, approved, and declined. It's always going to be pending if an admin user has not declined or granted the request. I'll go ahead and decline the request, and nothing else needs to be done in here. I can't grant the request now because it's already been declined, and that's all that's going to be done with this, right? So declined it, and you can see the status of, that it's declined. You can see the date that it came in for, the date it was requested by, the user who requested it, and then what the request was for, what page or table object it was requested for. And then there's a couple filters up here that you can filter on, ones that are still pending. So if you just want to see the ones that are currently pending that haven't been approved or declined, ones that have been approved, and then records that have been declined. Based on the status table field. And then you can also filter on the user ID. So you can imagine maybe a user has requested, one user maybe for 5 or 10 different page objects, and then you want to filter on a specific user, you could go ahead and do that. Right. So I know I didn't show you guys the email that I got. I did receive an email, so hopefully you guys trust me on that. And in that email, it will contain the user who is requesting the user ID of who is requesting the access to whatever the page or table object is, and then a hyperlink that will then take you back into BC and take you to that page object, that user access request page that I was just on, mapped to the user access request table, and then you guys can grant them or deny them access. A user admin could, right? Depending if they want to grant or deny access to the user's request. After a certain amount of days, there is another setup page and table in here that I'm not going to go over, and you can determine how many days that those records will stay in there, whether it's 2 days up to a year. And there's some other setups of who the admin users are going to be and stuff like that, in that user admin table. But I'm not going to go over that today. This was just to show you guys a quick demo of what my user access extension is all about. Hopefully you guys see some value in this and see how this can save you guys a lot of time with configuring and going forward with permissions and user access. Again, if you guys have any questions or you are interested in my extension, I can talk to you guys more about me deploying it to your guys' environment. And if you guys have any specific questions on me making further customizations to this, or if you guys have specific requests that where you would need extra functionality added to this, I'm happy to do the coding and programming work for your guys' specific environment, and yeah, and enhancing this even more to your guys' specific needs. If you want it to, be more page objects that are not on here and more table objects that are not on here, right? I can go ahead and do that for you guys and add whatever other functionality you might want added as a part of my extension. Again, my name is Alex Vescovi. Thank you for your time, and all of my contact information will be in the description of this YouTube video. Thanks, and have a good day. Bye.